Yeah. Fat lady sings, I see the writing on the walls. I mean, back to the sin, cause it was pride before the fall. And now the demons grin, there's no temptation too tall. So it's forever. Yeah, imagination that shifted realities, till paradigms shift into shades you ain't never seen. Was once excited for all this, now I ain't trying to be seen. Forever. Cause this mind is straight chatter, but I can barely say something. Feel like shit don't matter, so beware the fun cutting. It's volumes of demise, I hear the sound buzzing. So when she said she wanna die, and he sees she ain't bluffing, so he held her to the skies, cries, sour momentum, passive with goodbyes. I'd rather you tell him, but now the truth is I've digressed from all the feelings. So it's forever though. Like my mama's son missing, ain't no telling, do they love or did they kill him? The dominoes have fallen, we can't go back to beginning. This existential crisis, the reason I cannot keep competing and keep on living. So it's back against the world, seeing all your value once you dealt with all the dirt. Backing up slowly from these diamonds and pearls, quote unquote. I mean, fat lady sings, I see the writing on the walls. I mean, back to the sin, cause it was pride before the fall. And now it's just over. Yeah. Fat lady sings, I see the writing on the walls. I mean, back to the sin, cause it was pride before the fall. And now the demons grin, there's no temptation too tall. So it's forever. Yeah, imagination that shifted realities, till paradigms shift into shades you ain't never seen. Was once excited for all this, now I ain't trying to be seen. Forever. Cause this mind is straight chatter, but I can barely say something. Feel like shit don't matter, so beware the fun cutting. It's volumes of demise, I hear the sound buzzing. So when she said she wanna die, and he sees she ain't bluffing, so he held her to the skies, cries, sour momentum, passive with goodbyes. I'd rather you tell him, but now the truth is I've digressed from all the feelings. So it's forever though. Like my mama's son missing, ain't no telling, do they love or did they kill him? The dominoes have fallen, we can't go back to beginning. This existential crisis, the reason I cannot keep competing and keep on living. So it's back against the world, seeing all your value once you dealt with all the dirt. Backing up slowly from these diamonds and pearls, quote unquote. I mean, fat lady sings, I see the writing on the walls. I mean, back to the sin, cause it was pride before the fall. And now it's just over.
Afford it. How much government assistance are you getting with that 1 or 2 child that you got, and then you complaining about life is so hard? Yeah, bro, you could have 10 kids if you can afford it. You're just poor. It's okay. Go make some more money, because at $3,000 a month, this is where life truly starts, and you're just not living right now.
What is bro yapping about? Everyone knows you truly become a man when you make $5 million a day. You're poor. You're broke. What are you?
What the hell did we just witness right now? You're only a man if you're making 5 million and above. Hey, these new standards finna drive a lot of male human beings crazy. I'm telling you, it's finna be crazy, y'all. Anyway, man, AWAD shit, what's good with it? Hope y'all good, man. And how Doja Cat manipulated the internet. Let's go. This is from what is it? Fuck DH FVCKDH type shit.
Apparently, are you familiar with this photo?
Nope.
Well, that's Doja Cat wearing a Sam Hyde shirt. Sam Hyde is a guy worth questioning himself because apparently he is a neo. I know it's crazy, but let me catch you up. A while ago, I made a video on a situation.
Wait, what is that? What is a neo NAZI? I know it's a Z where that star is at right there, but let me just research right quick. Well, according to Wikipedia, neo N-word with the Z, right? Okay, I don't know what we're gonna. I don't know how to coin neo. What would rhyme with that? Neo-Nazi. Let me just Neo-Nazi, right? Comprises the post-World War militant, social, and political movements that seek to revive and reinstate Nazi ideology. Okay. So it's political movements, militant, social, and political movements that seek to revive, reinstate Nazi ideology. Okay, cool. So the H, I don't even know if I want to say these words. You know, the words that are associated with that time when Hitler was, you know what I'm saying? Was the man that was running things that side, right? So, you know, like the Holocaust, you feel me? So the H's, I'm gonna make the H's remain silent. So Holocaust, you feel me? So basically it's Holocaust thinking and mindset and shit like that. Okay, cool. So that's the Nazi ideologism. So this Sam guy is on that, right? And my volume is so low. Shit, my bad.
Rude to a fan. I'll quickly.
Are
you familiar with this?
Just restart that. So this guy that's on Doja Cat's t-shirt, Sam, is accused of being a Nazi, a neo-Nazi person, right? So yeah, we're just gonna put it like that. Yeah, and that was before I realized my whole volume was freaking low. Shit.
Photo. Well, that's Doja Cat wearing a Sam Hyde shirt. Sam Hyde is a guy worth questioning himself because apparently he is a neo. I know it's crazy, but let me catch you up. A while ago, I made a video on a situation that involved Doja Cat being rude to a fan. I'll quickly recap it here because I don't want y'all to have to go and watch that one, but you definitely should if you love DH. But that original situation involved in something much unexpected, and today I want to tell you guys why and how Doja Cat manipulated the internet. But I'm gonna stop yambling. Y'all already know I'm the hood Socrates, and let's actually start. So to quickly recap, the Doja Cat situation starts with a seemingly innocent TikTok of a fan interaction with Doja. I'll let you guys take a look at it.
I'm about to give my shirt to Doja Cat because she's the icon.
Oh, I think I remember this.
Period!
No, babe, you deserve it. Literally, and if you ever want anything more, I got you.
I think I remember this video.
This is the
Period! Happy Pride Month!
Pablo.
Nice to meet you.
Wait, what's your real name? Or is it Doja? Your real name?
Ami.
Ami? Ami, so nice to meet you, girl.
Nice
You're
to meet
beautiful.
you
I hope
too.
you have the best night. You're literally everything in life.
Thank you.
Ami.
Don't say thank you, thank you.
You smell great.
And obviously after watching that, you're probably thinking, DH, that's a cute little interaction. You can tell bro was excited to meet Shorty. What the hell is the big deal? And you'd be correct, because that was my initial thoughts. But the internet is the internet, and even things as trivial as this can spawn viral stories. After this TikTok was posted, Doja tweeted these two tweets, which I'll read for you guys. And by the way, I forgot to mention, the fan in the video is a TikToker named Pablo, which I'll discuss later. Bottom line line is, I'll smile at you, but it doesn't mean I fuck with you. And don't touch me and manhandle me when you don't even fucking know me. If you know, you know. I honestly think I need to stand up for myself in the moment sometimes. And he didn't even know my fucking name to be touching me and kissing me on my face. Like, that is crazy. I threw that musty ass shirt away, by the way. When I seen these tweets, I was like, you know what? I understand.
You know, actually the boldness to even like tweet all of that out. Yo, that's like so bold, bro. Knowing damn well that that is a fan of yours, bro. That's somebody that probably follows you on this very social platform that you're tweeting these things out. And obviously he knows he gave you a t-shirt. He knows you know what I'm saying? That's so passive aggressive, it's crazy.
Doja has a point about her boundaries and fans doing too much. Pablo was definitely fanned out, I won't lie. So I definitely agreed that he needed to tone down that fan energy because he doesn't know Doja, especially when she says he was kissing on.
But she rolled with it though. She rolled with it though, you feel me? She rolled with that wave. She was like, you know what I'm saying? She matched that energy. You know what I'm saying? She went energy for energy with him though too. She was all excited and giddy and cheesed out and shit
on her face. That is a little crazy. However, you could tell she's being real mean-spirited, and obviously I'm not saying she doesn't have a right to state her boundaries, but it's a 10s on 2 type of thing. Pablo wasn't just this evil man trying to violate her boundaries. He's a fanned out nigga excited to see his favorite artist, you feel me? And on top of that, he's gay, which you can tell by the way he talks. And in his response, he even confirmed that. And I'm not saying gay men can't make women uncomfortable either, but what I am saying is that I truly believe he didn't have ulterior motives like a straight man could, because he doesn't even like women. And I think Doja's overlooking that and just smearing him in such a mean-spirited way when she could have been firm without doing a call to action to slander him in a sense, especially knowing how these pop star fan bases be. And you know, she obviously cooked the shirt, but that show was funny, so she gets a pass. After this though, Pablo did have his own response, and let's just start with a TikTok that I'll play a little bit of.
Hi guys, I was just at a party and I got informed that Doja said some shit about me on Twitter. I just want to clear this up because it hurts, because I loved her. I watched her at Coachella. I've never claimed to be the biggest fan, but I really stand her and I think her.
Yo, you acted like the biggest fan of that video when you were fanning out. Yo, and I'm not saying don't fan out, but damn, it's okay to be the biggest fan, bro. That's cool. You're not the one to blame here, bro. Probably the fact that you're musty. Alright, cool. But you know what I'm saying? Overall, yo, you're not the one under the fire here, buddy.
Work is amazing. I just think it's crazy because she's the one at this event that was being so nice, and she said, she pointed out my shirt, and I said, and I like that. And then when I went outside and she was outside, I was like, girl, you'd be the perfect girl for my Pride collection. And she said, what do you mean, what Pride collection? I said, oh, I released this t-shirt, blah, 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 I'd love to give you one. She said, I'd want one right now. And I said, oh, I could give this one to you. She said, no way, you're not gonna give this to me. And that's when the video started, and she was
oh yeah, so she fucked with the tea. It was just musty. Difference, right?
So sweet and amazing, and I
Let's
thought
consider
that's
that
what it was. And now guys, she's on Twitter saying she threw that musty shirt away. She's saying that I didn't know her name, that I manhandled her, all this stuff. I understand guys, if I was being like too nice or whatever, I will take full accountability. I'm gay. I would never want to make her feel uncomfortable. She's so iconic. I have only been saying the nicest things about her. She's the sweetest celebrity. She made me feel so seen. She said, Ami, I thought she was nice. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is for publicity or for whatever, guys, but I would have never wanted to make her uncomfortable. I would have never even filmed if she didn't say yes. Guys, that video that we filmed was after everything, and I don't want to be that guy that comes on emotional or whatever, but I feel like I'm always the butt of the joke. Like, why am I the punching bag, bro? Like,
you know what's crazy? Even with people that say I don't know if y'all noticed this, but people that often say no offense, they're really about to be offensive, right? And then he was just like, nah, I don't mean to be emotional and everything. Like, this nigga has emotional written all over his face right now. Somebody don't mean to be emotional. Come on, bro.
Like,
now this
nah, I get it, bro. I'd be emotional too, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's fanned out. You know what I'm saying? For you like this, and then you just hold me like that? What?
TikTok only confirmed what I was feeling. He was a fanned out nigga and he was gay, so he didn't have any hidden motives. So why should we be witch hunting him or condemning him for making a simple mistake that he can correct and not repeat? And eventually I think Pablo realized that he was getting hoed by Doja and that she was kind of blowing it out of proportion, and he typed this in the comment section saying he thought Doja was sweet, and then he made some TikTok subbing Doja, which I'll also show y'all.
Oh, he really fucks with Doja, man. You could tell, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? The love you got for Doja is damn near mushy. I ain't gonna lie.
I just paid your bill with a reply. I just made your money pile knee high. I just made your stats peak. Now you got a blue check.
And on top of making TikTok subbing Doja, he also claimed to be throwing one of his tour shirts away. And at the time, he also made a musty ass shirt tank top for his brand on his website to get back at Doja. And no cap, I was fucking with it.
Nah, but I'm not gonna lie. Gen Z mindset. Gen Z mindset stereotype. Right? Cause he drive that Gen Z stereotype like all the way. The fact that, you know what I'm saying, some shit like this happens and all he's thinking about, yo, content, right? Yo, how can we capitalize and make content out of this shit? How can we make content out of the fact that she called me musty and shit, you know what I'm saying? Just like ride that whole wave. Like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that's like the Gen Z mindset. And you feel me? Like, that's just like where the world is at. And they were born into this kind of like energy and way of doing things, because that's what like the internet can make somebody benefit some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can make you gain some shit. That's why they think, yo, content, yo, because that's equal to numbers, yo, equal to, you know what I'm saying, cheese.
At the time, because I'm thinking, dude, this is just Doja being rude, and that's not out of the ordinary, because she was in them racial chat rooms showing feet. Which I'm not surprised from a light skin who grew up on the internet. They be loving them racist dudes, and light skins are evil, which I can confirm. What? But for real, it was just easy at the time to view it as another one of Doja Cat's viral controversies that is gonna inevitably be forgotten about in time. But what if I told you this time the controversy wasn't just controversy? What if I told you everything I showed you up until now was fake and really just a cover-up? A cover-up to hide one of Doja Cat's weirder controversies. Let me show you this t-shirt again. This is Sam Hyde. On top of him doing the salute in a photo.
Okay, damn. I see what you mean, man.
Which looked very alike a certain social media app CEO. He also donated 5 bands to a neo website during a time when they were facing legal troubles. So if that doesn't say a lot about who this guy is, I don't know what will. And Doja Cat wearing a shirt with him on it is a little crazy. And then she rocked it in different poses, by the way, which means she was low-key messing with it. That's insane. But hopefully you're seeing where I'm going with this. The next thing that happened was this video.
So you remember that one time where the one time and the one time?
Whoa.
How do I smell?
You smell amazing.
No, actually, like, we need this, like...
Oh, well, you smell good.
You're like, I wouldn't say amazing, but... You smell amazing, and I now know your name is Ami. I was, like, obsessed with your name.
That's fine, you didn't need to know.
No, but I should have known, because, like, you're that girl, my God. Oh, my God.
You should not have.
Wait, can I be honest?
Yeah.
Did you actually throw that musty shirt away?
I don't know.
No.
Be fucking honest, man.
So they're cool now? What's going on here? A viral controversy that involves Doja Cat and a shirt that happened.
Nah, bro, she was freaked out. Nah, man, she was freaked out that day. She was genuinely freaked out. And now I feel like it's about damage control. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't want to remain that meanie that like was mean to this guy, blah blah. So how do we fix that? We, you know what I'm saying? We reach back out and we do, you know, some pieces of content saying, yeah, no, it's all good. No, she, you know, actually smells good. No, fucking shut up and be honest, nigga.
Happens when Doja Cat has another famous controversy of her wearing a shirt that has a on it, she's manipulating the goddamn SEO. Allegedly. SEO is search engine optimization. But in layman's terms, what I'm trying to say is that by having another controversy blow up and have websites and news articles dedicated towards that same controversy, it will manipulate the SEO by showcasing that first and burying the previous controversy, making it harder to reach and requiring additional search. Doja Cat shirt and the Sam Hyde t-shirt would be in the results. And now, okay, so I'm on Google, I'm in the incognito tab. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna search up Doja Cat t-shirt and we're gonna see if the Sam Hyde shirt pops up or Pablo, just to prove a point. And what do you know? Who is that? Pablo. So I'm gonna type in Doja Cat shirt and see what pops up. Look at this. What do you see? Pablo. Pablo. It's literally all Pablo. That is SEO manipulation, allegedly. On top of this clearly engineered PR stunt, Pablo has released additional musty shirt merch after this reunion. Now, before I wrap this up, I bet you guys still don't believe me. Let me show you this. This nigga Pablo has been around other celebrities. Tell me why the fuck he has a picture with Riri and this girl Ava Max. But I don't really know her. I really don't be tapped into white celebrities. I don't keep up with them. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I had to do the research. I went on her TikTok. This Decent Milk, she 31 years old too. She looked crazy for her age. Now personally, I wouldn't see myself going since I really only find myself messing with black girls, but I understand it now. No cap. Bro, apparently Pablo was beefing with Kylie Jenner. Yes, Kylie Jenner.
Kylie Jenner is calling out a TikToker who lied about delivering her Instacart order. So this used...
Nah, this Pablo cat, bro. Oh, what the hell? You don't seem to have the what is that? The mustache here. The musty stash here. See what I did there? He don't seem to have the mustache here, so he been kicking this concept. Cause I'm thinking, is he like some sort of like industry plant type shit?
User made a video about delivering $12 pepperoni from Air One.
Some sort of plant.
To what he thinks is Kylie Jenner's house. In the video, he said there was a river. He showed the gate. He said he didn't see Stormy or Kylie. He showed himself asking the security guard, does Kylie Jenner live here? I couldn't hear if there was a yes or not. And he said that he heard a baby crying. He's like, it's a $12 order for pepperoni under the name of Ashton, and she could have paid me more. So Kylie posted the video of her making the sandwich, eating the sandwich, and then she goes, no one comes through the gate. The river, no river. The line for attention rubs me the wrong way. Sorry. Recipe coming soon, LOL. And then she adds, I did not order this myself. He was tipped through the app, lied to about seeing through the windows and hearing my son cry.
You guys, right when I think this whole Instacart thing is getting normal again, I literally last minute leave my house to go do an order. I get one all the way in West Hollywood at fucking Erewhon for $12. I'm driving to this person's house to go deliver it, and as I'm driving by, I see all the security and stuff. I'm like, wait, this house looks so familiar. Why? Because my best friend Jordy showed me this house, and it's Kylie Jenner's house. And I'm like, wait, there's no way this can be Kylie Jenner's house. Like, I need to look it up. So I look it up online. It's Kylie Jenner's house. Kylie Jenner's Los Angeles house. Girl, what the fuck is you talking about?
Then it got to the point niggas started comparing Pablo to Sarah the Stalker, who is a stalker famous for stalking celebrities, who
so there's like some sort of industry where niggas stalk other people. That's crazy.
Also learned about at the time of writing this video. So what do you all say about this? You got Doja Cat wearing a shirt featuring someone who is at best adjacent and at worst just a neo. Then, to allegedly cover this up, Doja Cat engineers a fake beef with a TikToker known for being around celebrities. And now, when searching up Doja Cat t-shirt or shirt, that's all you see. It seems like she...
Oh my god, bro. Yeah, nah, I feel like... Excuse me. I feel like this may just be more than a conspiracy that you're cooking up, my brother. It may be real. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. Because it is kind of weird how... You know what I'm saying? Or do you think they used this plant guy, this Pablo guy, deliberately? So as in that whole moment when Doja Cat was like freaked out and then ended up tweeting about the situation. So you telling me that was manufactured? That whole situation was scripted? What is he saying, bro? You feel? Nah. I don't know. But then to tie everything up with the t-shirts though, I think, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what's getting the whole thing questionable. Do you think if maybe let's say that whole incident happened, right? Doja bumps into Pablo, you know what I'm saying? And then she probably spots his jeans. His jeans probably, let's say, has the same pattern or was written, whatever the t-shirt had on it, right? And then Doja was like, yo, I fuck with your pants. Or nah, pants is like a bad example because Pablo was not gonna like take the pants off and give Doja the pants, right? Let's say a watch, right? Let's say a watch, yeah, or like a wristband, some cool ass wristband, and she went crazy over the wristband, right? And then Pablo was like, oh no, you can have it. And then it was a thing. Oh no, this guy, I wasn't even so comfortable around this guy. This stupid ass wristband. And let's say she put it that way, stupid ass wristband, threw it away. You feel what I'm saying? Would it still be suspicious? Like, do you think the connection would still be consistent to make fuck DH right here? I don't know if I'm saying the name right, fuck DH, but it's FVCKDH. Would that conspiracy still like apply to? Like, would it still make sense? But I get what you're saying. Like, the whole having Sam, is it Sam Hyde? Sam Dyke? Sam Hyde? You know what I'm saying? Covering that up by cooking this incident with Pablo up, you feel me? And pretending like, yo, nah, he was just a fan that like went crazy over my shit. I don't know. I think that's what fuck DH is saying. I'm just saying, yo, fuck DH, bro. If it was a wristband that Pablo gave to Doja, would you see it the same way still? Nah, I ain't gonna lie though, like, it's content, you know what I'm saying? Something for the reactors to chop up, man. I'm not gonna lie. It is what it is. It's kind of worth it. Feel me? Yeah, anyway, it's been a minute since I seen Doja Cat, man. I wonder what she's on, like. That's why when I saw this video, I was like, yo, why not? Let's see it.
More unsolicited opinions, join my membership, join my Discord. I do want that shit to be active.
Bears.
Alright, right here. We've got Facts Machine. Why are there no bears in Africa today? What the fuck? There's no bears in Africa today. Is this a fact? You know I always gotta find shit out for myself, bro. Hold on, let me try something out real quick though first though. While we at it. Let me see if the lighting is better this way. Or in the way that we at it. Fuck it. Hey. Fuck it. You feel me? Hold on. Alright, so are there really no bears in Africa today, bro? This is scary. No bear. Whoa! Yes, there are no wild bears in Africa today. The only native bear species, the Atlanta bear, Urus arctos crowderi, was extinct by the late 19th century. Blah 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 blah. Damn. Okay. Damn. Okay, let's find out why then.
Are one of the most successful large mammals on Earth. They've adapted to bears are one of the most successful large mammals on Earth. They've adapted to cold, to heat, to forests, mountains, coastlines, and jungles. They've crossed continents, changed diets, and evolved into 8 distinct species, each suited to the land it calls home. From North America to Asia, from the Andes to the Arctic, bears have found a way to survive. But not in Africa. And it's not like the continent doesn't have the right conditions. Africa has dense tropical forests, cool mountain ranges, high plateaus, vast river systems, and a rich mix of vegetation and animal life. It has everything from high-altitude cloud forests to coastal wetlands, habitats where other bear species have done well elsewhere. Food wouldn't be a problem either. With berries, roots, insects, fish, small mammals, and plenty of scavenging
What they
opportunities,
scared of, then?
most bear species could easily find something to eat. So, if the landscape fits and the resources are there, why are there no bears in Africa?
Good question.
Africa may not have bears today, but it didn't always look like this. If you go far enough back, you'll find evidence of massive bears that once lived and died on African soil. One of them was Agriotherium, a true giant. This bear lived during the Miocene and Pliocene epochs, roughly between 10 and 2.5 million years ago.
Whoa.
Fossils have been found in eastern and southern Africa, including regions like Ethiopia, Tanzania, and South Africa, placing it squarely in ancient African ecosystems. It was likely one of the largest bear species ever, with some individuals estimated to weigh—
You know, I never knew that Africa never had bears, bro. I guess it was just the fact that I never was interested in it.
weigh up to 900 kilograms, more than most polar bears today. But Agriotherium wasn't a typical predator. Its teeth and jaw structure suggest it was more of a scavenger than a hunter. It had powerful crushing molars, ideal for breaking bones and accessing marrow.
That's the jaw.
That means it probably used its size and strength to dominate kills made by other predators, muscling in on carcasses rather than chasing prey.
Why does that shit look scary? This shit looks like it comes from this one right here specifically. This look, obviously it's AI generated, but did they really look like this? What bears are these? Algorithm bears.
But in Africa,
What's that name?
that strategy had its limits. This was already a continent full of efficient carnivores and scavengers.
Alright, lions kissing. Alright, wait, let me see if. No, this is not the bears that they were just describing. Urus. Ursus. Algorithm bears. I think that's what L something. Okay. Here's oh my god, so what the hell is this video telling me then? Is this video cap? Has there... Wait. There are no native bears that live in... And never have been! Hold on, am I tripping? Wait, what the fuck? Are there any bears in Africa? Man, why did this AI nigga just lie to me? Wait, are there any bears in Africa? And where are they hiding? We all know that Africa is abundant with wild animals. Bears are remarkably species small. So if so, yeah. An African lion, so what's scaring them away? Hold on. No match for bears, cheetahs. So why aren't they? Bro. Can you get off my shit, please? Please get off my shit. At the moment, there are no bears in Africa. There's never been bears in Africa. Has there? Wait. Has there? Wait. There ever? Bears went extinct in Africa around the late 19th century. So they were bears. They just went extinct around the 19th century.
Early big cats and
Alright.
bone-crushing hyenas. Agriotherium likely faced intense competition, and over time,
Ugly
as
ass
climate
animal.
shifted and ecosystems changed, it disappeared, going extinct around the end of the Pliocene, possibly due to being outcompeted in a rapidly evolving food web.
Whoa.
Another bear genus, Indarctus, also appeared in Africa, though it didn't leave as strong a mark. Indarctus lived from the middle Miocene to early Pliocene, roughly 11 to 5 million years ago, and was smaller than
Dark-ass bear.
Agriotherium. But like Agriotherium, it too vanished from Africa before the modern era. While less is known about its extinction, it likely faced similar pressures: rising temperatures, shrinking woodlands, and increased competition from better adapted carnivores. The last bear to live in Africa was one that existed well into human history: the Atlas bear.
Atlas bear?
Unlike the prehistoric giants,
Nah, it's the Ursus, isn't it? The Ursus?
Atlas bear lived during the Holocene, and its range extended across the Atlas Mountains of North Africa, including modern-day Morocco, Algeria, and Libya. The Atlas bear was medium-sized, likely resembling a short-faced version of the American black bear, and it seemed well adapted to mountainous, forested terrain. But its decline had little to do with natural competition or climate. The real threat came from people. The Romans hunted Atlas bears for sport and used them in
what?
arena games alongside lions and leopards. As human populations expanded, the bear's habitat was increasingly fragmented and destroyed. By the time
Yo, people's ways of just entertaining themselves back in the day was just so dangerous, bro. Nah, it could never been me, bro.
the 19th century
What?
arrived, the Atlas bear
How
was
the hell you play? How the hell you hunt that shit for sport? Or is it just like to toughen yourself up?
already rare.
That's
The
crazy.
last known individuals likely died out in the late 1800s, hunted to extinction. The final chapter of bears in Africa written by human hands. Even though bears once lived in Africa, their presence was always limited, both in space and in time. And unlike in other parts of the world, they never managed to establish themselves across the continent. There's no evidence of bear
is
populations
crazy, bro.
moving deeper into Central or Southern Africa,
My nigga don't even exist around here no more. That's crazy.
or across open plains. Just isolated species in the
My nigga bear left me, bro. Damn.
Part of that has to do with the shape of the continent itself.
Yeah, but do you think if they could like bring bears back, like, you know what I'm saying? Bring them from wherever they at and come breed them over here, you think they'd survive? Like breed them, right? And then like leave them out in the wild. You feel me? Or like give birth to like, I don't know, say a couple of bears, bro. 12,000. And you know what I mean? Just let them roam around the wild. Damn, but they'd be fucking eating. Right? They also gotta learn to survive and all that kind of shit. Alright, so I'd say maybe a community of bears, right? A nation of bears. Yeah, like 2 million of them. You know what I'm saying? 2 million congregations of bears. Damn, I think, wait. Okay, I think at that point, them niggas might just like destroy all of Africa. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them being eaten, they might eat all of Africa at that point. Shit. Okay. Alright, cool. Let me rethink what I just said.
The Africa narrows as you move north. What looks like an open land bridge from Eurasia is actually squeezed between
Eurasia.
coastlines and dominated by one of the most inhospitable landscapes on Earth, the Sahara Desert. It's not just dry, it's ecologically empty for a species like a bear. There's no tree cover, no consistent food, and no shelter from extreme heat.
They wouldn't survive.
For smaller desert-adapted animals, it's passable. But for a large, mostly solitary mammal that needs shade, water, and calories, it's a dead zone. That single environmental barrier may have been enough to stop bears from ever reaching the heart of Africa. And for the ones that did live north of it, like the Atlas bear, there was simply nowhere else to go. But beyond geography, there's another problem. Africa's predator guild is unlike anything bears evolved alongside. Most bear species originated in environments where competition came from other solitary carnivores, big cats for the most part, or wolves in smaller groups. In contrast, Africa's carnivore networks are more densely packed and more aggressive. You have animals that cooperate, defend territories, chase prey for miles, or scavenge in large, persistent groups. It's a high-pressure system, and bears, for all their strength and adaptability, don't slot into it easily. They're not pursuit hunters. They don't fall.
Shit, that shit is real, bro. This shit versus a gorilla, I think it may just be a tough one, right?
On packs.
Give this motherfucker some steroids. This nigga going, you know what I'm saying? And then give the gorilla steroids. We out got.
They're flexible but not fast, strong but not social, and while they're excellent opportunists in temperate zones, they're far less competitive in ecosystems where every kill attracts a crowd. This might explain why Agriotherium, despite its size, never became dominant in Africa. Its strength meant it could take over carcasses, but it couldn't outlast the pressure. Over time, as landscapes opened up and forests receded, that strategy broke down. The idea of a bear surviving in Africa might sound strange now, but it's not impossible. So the question is worth asking.
That's what I was asking. Like, if we bought like a bunch of, like, you know what I'm saying, like a really big community of bears, not too big, you know what I mean, but like really huge one. I'm saying, I think they'd survive. Like, come on, what does it take for bears to survive? Wherever they at, surviving wherever they at, I don't think it's too different from how Africa is, really. All these motherfuckers need is like jungle. That's it, that's all. What the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Special treatment and shit? What?
Could any bear species survive in Africa today? To even consider that, we have to look at what makes Africa challenging for bears, starting with one of their biggest biological limitations, heat. Most bears are built for cold or temperate environments. They evolved in places with strong seasonal changes where it pays to store fat and stay insulated. Their thick fur, large body mass, and low surface area relative to size all help them conserve heat, which is great in the mountains of Tibet or the forests of Alaska, but becomes a problem the moment temperatures start to climb. Unlike many African predators, bears don't pant efficiently, and they don't sweat. Their main tools for cooling down are behavioral. In warm climates, they slow down, rest in the shade, bathe in cold water, or avoid activity during the heat of the day. Black bears and grizzlies have been seen soaking for hours in rivers, lying on their backs with their paws in the air, or digging into cool earth to stay regulated. Some even shift to a semi-nocturnal pattern just to avoid overheating. This puts them at a clear disadvantage in environments where heat isn't a seasonal obstacle. It's a permanent condition. Most of sub-Saharan Africa is hot year-round, and even the nights don't offer much relief in the open savannas or dry woodlands. For a bear, operating at full size and full insulation under those conditions would be extremely difficult without constant access to shade, water, and rest. But while most of the continent would be unsuitable, not all of Africa is hostile to bear-like life.
That's what I'm saying.
There are still pockets of terrain where a bear, under the right conditions, might stand a chance. The Congo Basin, for example, is one of the world's largest tropical rainforests, with stable...
Yo, unless that whole, what is it? Climate change thing where, you know what I'm saying? The iceberg is melting there by the edges of the world and shit like that. Edges of the earth. You feel me? Unless that shit is true, and you know what I'm saying? Like, even these little pockets where bears can survive in Africa may get like hot as fuck, and then really there may not be any place for bears to survive. Because I'm sure there may be bears to survive. You know what I'm saying? Bears to survive. Damn. There may be places where bears can't survive. I'm saying. You know, think about that. I don't know. The fuck, there's mad cold places out here, bro. What the fuck these niggas talking about? You feel me? Now I don't know sub-Sahara when they talk about. I'm saying sub-Sahara Africa or shit like that. I don't know. But like, you feel me? Because another thing that makes me not really write off the whole climate change with that whole, you know what I'm saying, thing is that these days the summers are a lot hotter, bro. The winters are a lot colder. Understand what I'm saying? So like, how do we explain that? Like, seasons is getting more and more. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, I don't know how climate change connects with like the ice melting at the edges of the earth. What the fuck? Do you think they fucking our minds up?
Stable temperatures, dense canopy cover, and high humidity. It has fruiting trees, rivers, thick undergrowth, and relatively low visibility. The kind of environment where a small, cautious omnivore can stay hidden and well fed. Then there are the Albertine Rift Highlands and the Ethiopian Plateau, both of which feature elevated forested terrain with cooler temperatures and patchy human development. These regions have more vertical space, lower ambient temperatures, and access to mixed food sources, including roots, fruits, invertebrates, and small animals. But habitat alone isn't enough. To survive here, a bear would also need to compete, and that's where things get complicated. African ecosystems are already saturated with predators. In forests, leopards rule the shadows. On the ground, bush pigs and baboons compete for many of the same resources a bear would target. And human pressure is constant. Logging, farming, poaching, and habitat fragmentation all make life harder for solitary, wide-ranging animals. So if a bear were to survive in Africa today, it would need to be something very different from the typical image of a grizzly or a brown bear. It would need to be smaller, lighter, less reliant on meat, and highly skilled at climbing or hiding. It would need to move cautiously, avoid open ground, and possibly shift its activity patterns to avoid both.
So you're telling me no bears can do these things that you just mentioned right now? Like, no bears?
Heat and conflict.
Clearly, you just need some flexible ass bears. You know what I'm saying? Small ass midget bears there. You know what I mean? Going crazy there with the shiesties.
And this isn't just theoretical. There's already a bear that fits this profile. The Andean bear, or spectacled bear, lives in the mountainous forests of South America.
Shit is ugly.
In places like Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador. It survives near the equator at
Why does it look like a sloth in the face?
elevations ranging from lowland jungle to mist-covered cloud forests. What keeps it going is a combination of traits. Small size, a mostly
This thing looks like a big ass dog though. Feel me? Big ass roof. Motherfuckers might just like, you know what I'm saying, capture these things and try and domesticate these motherfuckers. Tear your whole shit apart, boy.
herbivorous diet, excellent climbing ability, and a
Look at this, it looks like a sloth, no? What?
preference for thick vegetation and high altitudes. It avoids competition by staying out of open terrain, minimizes conflict by moving alone, and doesn't rely on hunting to meet its energy needs. It's cautious, elusive, and adapted to a very narrow ecological niche. But it works. And that's the key insight. A bear can survive in the tropics, but only under very specific conditions, and usually by limiting what it tries to do. It can't act like a grizzly, a polar bear, or even a temperate black bear. It has to specialize, compromise, and stay out of trouble. That model could theoretically apply to parts of Africa. In a dense mountainous forest, a bear with similar traits, light-framed, tree-oriented, fruit-eating, and behaviorally passive, might have a narrow window of opportunity. But it would be walking a fine line the entire time, with very little room for error. One bad season, one shift in human pressure, and the balance would collapse. That's all for today.
Bear education, man. Shout out, Fax Machine. Boy, Fax Machine with it. Like it. Nice little bear education. Alright, what do we got next? 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 Hit me with it, papa. Go deeper, papa. Let's go, let's move, papa. You feel me? Alright, hold on. Why do Asians eat dogs? Why do Asians eat dogs? Wait, are Asians the only human civilization on Earth that eat dogs? Let me check that out. Let's check that out. Are Asians the only people? What? Myth of Asians eating dogs and paying harmful stereotypes. So it's a myth? It's a stereotype? The myth is a myth? Honest opinion on different dog breeds. Bro, please get off my line. Disturbing me. The question of whether Asians eat dogs is a harmful stereotype that has persisted for far too long. No, not at all. No, not all Asians. So not all of them. Some of them. And the generalization of offensive and untrue is offensive and untrue. It's crucial to remember that Asia is a vast continent, diverse cultures. So it's not all Asians. Okay. Alright. According to ARIA, not all Asians. Let me see. Which tribes eat dogs then? Which Asians tribe eat dogs? Which Asian tribe? In Asia, dog meat consumption is prevalent in several countries, including China, the largest consumer of dog meat. Damn, bro, this like damn, just reading this shit like culture shock. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, kind of makes me uneasy. It's kind of close to cannibalism. I don't know. Let me not judge people's culture. But you know what I'm saying? The fact that I don't do it, that's why I'm kind of squirming a little bit. Squirming is the word, right? I'm kind of uneasy. So.
Only in the past? Is it a delicacy or something when people didn't have enough protein? Or maybe it's all just a racist stereotype.
People think they're so clever, like they're the first person to ever like ask me this question, do you eat dog?
This is the kind of thing I think about when I can't sleep at 3 a.m. So here we are.
What?
I'm Ken LaCourte. I research questions like this, not to mock people or feel superior, but to really dig into the truth and give you the answers as straightforward as I can. How does our world work? I'll first explain what I learned about where the world stands today on eating dogs. Then, why Asia? I mean, it's a big world with a lot of hungry people, but why did this become something associated with Asians? And finally, we'll look at pet or protein, why societies are cool with chowing down on some animals, but not others. So to most Americans, eating
So I was like, yo, it's closer to cannibalism if you ask me.
dogs is a pretty squeamish thing to think about. But maybe a better question is, why don't we eat dogs? The cuteness factor? We eat lambs and cows, which are pretty darn cute.
That actually is a good question.
Because they're smart? I mean, people think pigs are smarter than dogs, but bacon is almost a national meat. We don't eat dogs not because it's wrong in some objective sense, but because somewhere along the way, our culture drew a big, bright moral line. Other cultures drew that line somewhere differently, and we'll start in Asia, where the stereotype really lives. So, yes, dog and cat meat is still eaten in parts of Asia, but it's not super common. South Korea has long been associated with dog meat stew, and in a recent poll, about 8% of people there said they'd eaten dog in the past year. That's down from 27% in 2015. Younger generations don't eat dog meat nearly as often, and they view it much less favorably than older South Koreans do. Vietnam is thought to have the world's...
So it's a traditional thing. It's like it's a generational thing. Like as in now, it's, you know what I'm saying? They're waning off of it. Like as generations go.
Second highest consumption of dog meat, and they eat about 5 million dogs a year. but public opinion there too is moving away from it, and most Vietnamese support a ban on the dog and cat meat trade. China remains the world's largest consumer of dog meat, with an estimated 10 to 20 million dogs killed for food each year. It's mainly concentrated in their rural areas. China also hosts the Yulin Dog Meat Festival around the summer solstice each year. It's not an ancient traditional festival, but started in 2009 by dog meat traders to boost sales. But both attendance and dog meat sales throughout the country have gone down in the last few years, and activists are also getting involved. And just like other Asian countries, there's a generational divide, with younger Chinese overwhelmingly opposing eating dogs. And the shift isn't just cultural, it's starting to be legal as well. In 2020, Shenzhen became the first city in mainland China to ban the sale and consumption of dog and cat meat. Other cities followed. In South Korea, a 2024 law banned dog meat entirely, with a 3-year grace period to phase out the industry. So look, as always, I try to do my best to do everything right here, but if I make a substantive mistake, I'll correct it down below. And if you find this video interesting, there may be a button somewhere you can press to see more of these. Now, let's look at some of the wet markets, the open air, often chaotic food markets that we became familiar with during COVID. So, wet market doesn't mean an exotic animal death pit. It just refers to markets selling fresh produce, meat and fish, and sometimes live animals. While most sell stuff like bok choy and chicken feet, a handful of trafficked in wildlife, and in some cases, dogs and cats. That imagery of dogs in wire cages, bats in soup, and frogs hopping over fish tanks, that hit the Western internet a little bit like a horror show during the early pandemic. And for many people, it reinforced pre-existing stereotypes. Let's zoom out beyond Asia. Unlike some Asian countries, it's actually illegal to eat dogs in Switzerland. Activists said in 2014 that about 3% of Swiss people had eaten dog or cat
Never do that shit again, elephants in rooms.
meat, although they do have a bit of an agenda on that. And it's still a practice in some small rural areas where Christmas cat stew is part of some traditional menus. In parts of Nigeria, dog meat is sold openly in markets considered an aphrodisiac or medicinal food, but we don't often hear about that. Cameroon, Ghana, and other African countries do the same. And historically, some indigenous peoples in Mexico ate dog meat, particularly this guy, a Mexican hairless dog. So why Asia? If people are eating dogs and cats in other places, why did the whole Asians eat dogs stereotype stick? Part of it is historical. In ancient China, we know they ate dog meat for thousands of years. Dogs were raised not just for companionship or guarding, but also as livestock. In Korea, dog meat soup is believed to boost stamina and masculinity, especially during hot summer months. And in Vietnam, some still believe eating dog meat at the end of the Lunar New Year brings good luck and wards off bad spirits. So there's history there. But ancient cultures weren't the only ones. They say Romans did it, Polynesians did too, and Aztecs bred dogs for food as well. So again, why Asia? Well, it seems like timing mattered. American exposure to Asian food came largely through war, not exactly a time for cultural nuance and understanding. During World War II, the Korean War, and especially the Vietnam War, American soldiers stationed overseas saw unfamiliar foods and they brought back stories. Some were real, others exaggerated. But when you're dehumanizing an enemy, anything goes, including mocking what they eat. Visibility also played a role. Unlike the wrapped ground beef in Western supermarkets, some traditional Asian markets displayed live animals for sale. Dogs in cages, cats in baskets, frogs in tanks. And that's jarring to outside eyes. Once a stereotype like that becomes popular, it can be shorthand for weird or uncivilized. The image has legs, literally. So overall, the stereotype came from truth, war, media, and a perception.
Fuck frogs. Frogs is one of the worst things ever fucking created. I swear to God. I don't mean to cuss so. Damn. Why were frogs created? You know when you start asking yourself like, why do these motherfuckers exist? Yes, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Between us and them, and often to look down on people who do things differently. In truth, most of us don't think too hard about why we eat the animals we do. Most Americans grew up eating chicken, pork, beef.
That's what I'm thinking all the time. I'm gonna break it down at the end of the video.
Maybe some fish sticks. And that's just what's for dinner. But the second someone mentions dog food, we cringe. But disgust isn't a fact, it's a feeling. Like most feelings, it's a product of who raised you. where you live, and what your culture takes as normal. So certainly one important factor is that the closer an animal is to our daily lives,
That's what I'm
the harder it
saying.
is to see as food. We've domesticated our dogs, cats, and other animals. We take care of them. We give them names. And to many people, they're not just animals, they're family. Cows and chickens don't live in our houses, but there's still a wide variability of how we view animals regardless of where they live. I mentioned earlier that pigs are smart. They can play
What the hell?
video games, recognize their names, form emotional bonds, just like dogs. But in the US, the only food more American than hamburgers is bacon. And we eat about 75 million pigs every year. And bunnies, they're so adorable that they're basically the universal mascot for cuteness. But they're on the menus in some US restaurants, and they're even more popular in parts of France, Italy, and China. Horses aren't eaten in the US, but in parts of France, Belgium, Italy, and Japan, horse meat is available raw, seared, or even sausages. An American might be bothered by that, but most of us grab a burger, wear leather shoes, or sit on a leather sofa without a second thought. And in India,
What the fuck? That's so crazy, actually.
cows are holy. Harming one isn't
Yes, that's what I wanted to break down at the end of the video, right? Is the fact that, yo, dog, bro, come on, bro. Yeah, nah, he just broke it down. It's like, bro, come on, though. Damn. But you know what I'm saying? You get born, and this is how people behave, dog. And that's just what it is, depending on which part of the world you were born, right? Let's say you were born in India, where the cow is worshipped and things like this, right? You were born there. There's a whole lot of different variations of cows. And you know what I'm saying? Probably depending on what tribe, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make sense of some shit. You know what I'm saying? You will feel the same way about cows. You know, like how Americans feel about dogs. You feel me? Where it's like, yo, don't touch that shit. Maybe that's how Indians feel about cows. So you don't just eat them. Feel me? I don't know about totally not eating them, but maybe they, like some parts of India, they don't even touch the cows. Because I know, yeah, cows are very sacred to them. You know what I'm saying? And okay, so I guess it is, you know, the closer something is to your heart. You feel me? Obviously, you won't see it as food. Okay, it does make sense. So, let's say if you watching right now were born in China, chances are then you would not see it as weird, right? Eating a dog, as how somebody, you know what I'm saying, in America would try even imagine that. It would weird them out. You know what I'm saying? It's weirding me out. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking interesting. But like, if like me right now where I'm at, I look at a cow and I think about, like, you know what I'm saying, beef burger. Shit, I'm actually thinking of, you know what I'm saying, whipping one up right now. Shit, get a couple patties ready. You know what I'm saying, 2 patties ready for that double experience. You feel me? Crispy. You know what I'm saying? Lettuce type situation. I eat my shit with lettuce, man. Some bacon there. Beef bacon burger, cheese. Sounds attractive. Sounds tantalizing. But then now, think of dog patty. Ugh, bro. It's like mouth kind of gagging, like just thinking about that shit. I don't know if gagging is the right word, but I got this like this kind of a feeling in my this area right here, the neck. It said feel.
just offensive, it's criminal in many states. In fact,
Pause. I just realized how that might have sounded. Extra pause on that. Sorry.
40% of Indians are vegetarians. To them, all of these foods are off limits. So it's not about logic, it's about who we are and who we're not. And food is one of the oldest tribal markers we have. Paul Rosen, a psychologist who spent decades studying disgust, says that disgust protects the soul, not the body. It's not just about staying healthy, it's about staying morally or even spiritually pure. Across much of the Middle East and Jewish communities around the world, pork is strictly forbidden. Islam and Judaism both consider pigs unclean, and that shaped entire cuisines for thousands of years. In Hinduism, it's beef that's off limits. Buddhists often promote vegetarianism, especially among monks, But in practice, especially in places like China or Thailand, most still eat meat because the faith says it's more important not to kill them than not to eat. So if someone else does the slaughtering, the moral burden is lifted. My point is to show how deeply food choices are tied to identity, morality, and culture. What we eat shows our loyalty, belonging, and in some cases, righteousness. And when somebody eats something outside of our food code, especially something we see as cuddly, sacred, or symbolic of a home, it doesn't just gross us out, it makes them feel foreign. So it seems these food preferences aren't just about food, but about how we see ourselves and others, and how we saw them in the past. Look, another thing that affects how we see ourselves is what we call ourselves. And if you've been around long at all, you've noticed that many groups and ethnicities rename themselves quite frequently. And then the old names are often considered insults. Colored person and Negro used to be terms of respect for Black Americans, but not anymore. And is it Black or African American? This is one of my very favorite videos because I learned a lot about ecology of
neighbor now.
But the actual mechanism of how those changes occur and when they fail. I learned a whole lot in producing it, and I think you will too. Hey, thanks for watching.
Hey.
I hope this all was worth your time.
Worth my time. Thank you.
There's something curious about...
Fuck with you, fuck with you, fuck with you. Elephants in Rooms. That's an interesting name, I won't lie. Elephants in Rooms. Interesting channel name.
There's something curious about Scotland when seen from a...
Wait, what are we looking at? Why there is a straight gap in the middle of Scotland? Bro, who gives a fuck about this shit? You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, let's see it.
Above. An almost perfect...
I give a fuck. I guess
straight line cuts right across the country from coast to coast. You might have never noticed, but that giant scar has existed for hundreds of millions of years. And right along its path lies one of Earth's biggest mysteries, the Loch Ness Monster. Meet the Great Glen Fault. Just like other major fault zones around the world, it was born because of the movement of Earth's tectonic plates. So let's go back in time, like 430 million years ago. At that point, a massive geological drama was going on called the Caledonian Orogeny. Now, orogeny is just a fancy scientific word for...
Fuck, Brightside, bro. This sounds like some geeky shit, bro. Damn, I didn't think you'd get this geeky, bro. Origami, Floroslarky, Shurabarmy. I'm trying to get into some ignorant shit. What the fuck is this? Destruction of low tier god. The destruction of low tier god? What do I want to catch right now? That is a good question though. Hold on, let me zoom in so you can see it. If there are big cats, why are there no big dogs? What could be a big dog? A bear is a big dog though, right? Lions are big cats. And what is that? Leopards? Yeah, these are like big cats, right? Big dogs, right? Big dogs could be bears. What the fuck is a bear? Yeah, no, this isn't just. You know what I'm saying? That is a
Mastiffs, even wolf dogs. There are no naturally evolved wild dogs that can match a lion, a tiger, or even a jaguar in size. That's not an opinion. It's just the reality of nature.
Bro.
Sure,
okay,
some dogs
no
get
dog,
big. Great Danes, Mastiffs, even wolf dogs bred for size. But they're all the same species, domesticated and designed by humans. Not one of them evolved in the wild to be what they are. Big cats are different. Every one of them, lions, tigers, jaguars, leopards, is its own species. They didn't come from breeding programs. They came from millions of years of evolution, having been shaped into elite solitary hunters. Their size...
So they were bred by nature itself, not human beings. Well, human beings aren't human beings' nature.
It wasn't optional, it was a survival advantage. Wolves are the biggest natural canines we have left. The northwestern wolf is the heavyweight, and even then, the largest specimens barely hit 80 kilos. That doesn't come close to a 200-kilo lion or a 300-kilo tiger. And foxes, coyotes, jackals, they're efficient predators, but nothing about them says apex. If you're waiting for the dog equivalent of a big cat, you won't find it in the modern world. But that doesn't mean nature didn't try. It did. And when it did, it created something huge, powerful, and short-lived. The big dogs were real, and they lost. The reason has a lot to do with how predators survive. Most of today's large land predators fall into one of two categories: the pack hunters and the solitary ambush predators. Those aren't just habits, they're entire evolutionary strategies, and they shape everything from body design to behavior. Canines, for the most part, are pack hunters. Wolves, dholes, African wild dogs, bush dogs, even the dingo and the New Guinea singing dog, they all fit this model. They rely on teamwork to bring down prey larger than any one of them could handle alone. That's their edge. They don't overpower their prey, they wear it down. And that's why size isn't everything. When the kill depends on endurance and group coordination, being huge isn't an advantage. It burns more energy, slows you down, and doesn't actually help in the final moment of the hunt. These animals aren't tackling prey head-on, they're chasing it until it collapses. Look at their anatomy. Long, narrow legs, stiff wrists that can absorb the pounding of long-distance running, big, blunt claws built for traction, not slashing. Their whole body is designed for movement, not grappling. And once the prey is down, or at least too weak to fight back, they start eating. That's not poetic, but it's effective. These predators don't need to kill cleanly. They just need to kill eventually, which is why their teeth are...
So chasing down is their specialty. Chasing some shit down until runs out of breath, you know what I'm saying, collapses, and just grip on you, you know what I'm saying?
Built more for crushing than slicing. Massive carnassials rip through sinew and even bone, turning the entire carcass into calories. It's a strategy that works, but it also locks them into a certain physical mold. There's a sweet spot in size where calorie output and calorie intake are balanced, and canines found it. Going beyond that didn't offer an advantage, and evolution doesn't reward excess, it rewards efficiency. That's why the big cats went in a completely different direction. Ambush predators play by different rules. They don't run their prey down. They stalk, creep, and then explode. One shot, one pounce, and it's over. Or it's not. But either way, the kill has to happen fast, because there's no second wind coming. That's why they're big. They don't have a team. They don't have backup. When it's go time, it's all on them, which means they need the muscle mass of several smaller predators packed into one body. And that size only works because their strategy is short and violent, not drawn out and exhausting. Their anatomy reflects it. Heavy limbs built for grappling, retractable claws, razor sharp and curved like hooks, shoulder joints that actually allow the front legs to encircle and hold prey in place. That's something canines simply can't do. Their joints don't allow it. Cats don't just bite, they tackle, they wrestle, they use their body like weapons and their arms like arms, not just legs. And they can afford that bulk because they're not chasing anything for miles. They creep through forests, using every bit of cover they can find, getting close enough to strike. That's why most ambush predators come from wooded environments. Trees, brush, tall grass, all perfect for hiding. Even their senses are adapted to it. Smaller snouts, because they don't need that massive olfactory range. Bigger eyes, stronger ears. They're built to focus, not to track across distances. And that shorter snout also means one other thing: more bite force. Their jaws are made to deliver one fast, lethal bite. The canines are long and deadly. Ironically, felines have bigger canines than canines, especially in species like the clouded leopard, which, for its size, has some of the largest fangs of any living cat, almost saber-like. Every piece of their body is tuned for ambush, not for chasing, not for teamwork, just raw, silent power. And that's where evolution split. One path favored endurance, cooperation, and lean efficiency. The other favored stealth, strength, and solo takedowns. When it comes to size, ambush predators had a reason to go big. Every extra kilogram meant more muscle behind the pounce, more force behind the grapple, and more control once the prey was in their grasp. Evolution kept rewarding it, up to a point. The bigger the prey, the bigger the predator needed to be, and the cats were built for that arms race. Canines weren't. The bigger they got, the worse it got for their hunting style. Long chases burn calories fast. A heavier body burns even more. A lion can win or lose a hunt in a few seconds. A wolf might have to chase for kilometers. There's no room for unnecessary weight. Even if a dog did get bigger, what would it do with the extra muscle? Their claws don't slash. Their shoulders don't rotate the way cats do. They can't grapple. They don't pounce. Their only real weapon is their bite, and they already have a strong one. The strategy is simple. Wear the prey down, then bring it down. No sudden finish, no precision strike, just exhaustion. And that's why evolution capped them where it did. Wolves reached a size where the numbers worked. Big enough to survive the cold, strong enough to pull down decent-sized prey, but still light and fast enough to run the distance. Any bigger and the trade-off wasn't worth it. There's no reward for chasing.
Yeah, as I said, nature just breeded these animals, you know what I'm saying, to where it saw that it was suitable for these animals to, you know what I'm saying, to operate shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about just like, you know what I mean? Is this what natural selection is? Where nature like selects you, or just the environment and how your mind develops in saying, no, my strong point is ABC and not XYZ, right? And therefore I don't need these muscles that can develop in me looking like XYZ, when I could just remain here as ABC. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all
That's
do.
heavier than most lions and built nothing like a modern wolf. It had a huge, powerful head with jaws made for crushing bone. Not slicing, not stabbing.
What's this?
AllWorldsADay.
AWAD?
Like predators walked the earth. And they weren't just big by canine standards, they were big, period. One of them was called AllWorldsADay, and it didn't mess around. It lived in North America around 10 million years ago and could weigh over 300 pounds. That's heavier than most lions and built nothing like a modern wolf. It had a huge, powerful head with jaws made for crushing bone. Not slicing, not stabbing, just breaking things. Its skull was so massive and broad that it's often compared to that of a lion, though the rest of its body was still unmistakably dog-like. AllWorldsADay wasn't alone. It came from a group known as the AllWorldsADay, the so-called bone-crushing dogs. These were not your average pack hunters. They were bulky, top-tier predators that took on large prey and ate everything, including the bones. Their jaws were specialized for exactly that. They were efficient and brutal, and for a while, they dominated. Even before them, there was another group, the SSUBB-UPP, early dog-like creatures that were a bit more primitive, but on a similar path. These three branches of ancient canines, AllWorldsADay, SSUBB-UPP, and the modern Caninae, all existed at the same time, mostly in North America. Three evolutionary experiments all competing for dominance. The AllWorldsADay started small, like the others, but gradually evolved into larger and more specialized predators. Their bone-crushing jaws gave them an edge. They could make full use of every kill, extracting calories from places other predators couldn't. That efficiency lets them push the limits of size. Eventually, they outcompeted the SSUBB-UPP entirely. One branch is gone. But as the AllWorldsADay kept growing...
So what does that mean then? Does that mean they went extinct or some shit?
And pushing into that heavy, hyper-specialized role, the
like
Caninae,
hyenas.
the ancestors of modern wolves and dogs, stayed leaner, more flexible. They didn't need huge prey. They didn't need massive jaws. And because of that, they didn't need to get enormous. They played it safe, and that may have saved them, because everything changed when the cats arrived. For millions of years, the Americas belonged to the dogs. The big cats hadn't even shown up yet. It was a canine continent, ruled by bone crushers and pack hunters, with no felines in sight. Then the migration happened. Members of the cat family, originally from Eurasia, made their way into North America. At first, they were just another competitor, but it didn't take long for them to start climbing the food chain. Unlike the big dogs, these new predators didn't rely on stamina or teamwork. They brought a completely different playbook: stealth, power, and precision. And when they moved in, they didn't just coexist, they started eating the same prey. The exact same prey that the biggest dogs relied on for survival. That overlap turned into direct competition, and the dogs lost. The big borophagines, animals like Epicyon, had gone all in on one strategy. Huge size, huge skulls, slow movement, specialized diets. They were built to take down and break apart giant animals. But cats like the saber-toothed Smilodon were doing the same job better. Faster, quieter, more agile, able to hunt solo, more efficient with energy, and equipped with claws and joints that gave them more control during the kill. They didn't just bite, they wrestled prey to the ground and finished it with a fatal strike. It was cleaner, faster, and cost less in calories. Once again, one branch of predators pushed itself too far into specialization, and just like the Hesperocyaninae before them, the big dogs were slowly pushed out. Evolution doesn't hand out second chances. If you can't compete, you go extinct. That's what happened to Epicyon and to the rest of the borophaginae. They had ruled North America until something better came along. Not bigger, just better.
What's that?
Meanwhile, the Caninae, the ones who never went all in on size, were still around. Still flexible, still fast, still smart enough to hunt in packs, and small enough to chase rabbits if they had to. They didn't dominate, but they didn't die. They were survivors, and when the dust settled, they were the only dogs left standing. That's why the wolves we have today are lean, medium-sized and built to run, not fight alone. They come from the branch that stayed adaptable, the ones that didn't grow too big, didn't specialize too much, and didn't rely on prey that might disappear. The giants vanished, the bone crushers failed, and what's left are the canines that figured out how to survive without going head-to-head with the cats. It's not that dogs can't be big. They've done it before. They just can't stay big. Not in the wild. Not for long. The strategy doesn't hold up. Nature tried it, and the cats outplayed them. That's all for today. If you enjoyed...
So how evolution grew them up, I'm saying it wasn't sufficient when it came to like competing with the cats, bro. You know what I'm saying? For like the sustenance of remaining big. You feel me? Shit, that's something interesting. That's interesting, man. Something interesting to Yeah. What else we got this motherfucker? It's not but education today, bro. But gooning culture has gone out of control. What does my man Astro Dior Plus gotta say? Talk about gooning culture.
And today we're reacting to These Gooners Are Getting Out of Hand by Chisel the Don. You know, I rock with Chisel the Don's videos. He be actually genuinely having me laughing. Y'all already know this topic right here has been discussed by hundreds of YouTubers. People beating and yanking go to different heights and lengths, scary things that we have never seen before. That being said, man, let's get into it.
I've done a variety of different content over the course of the past 9 years on the platform. But for whatever reason, something that never ceases to amaze me is just how much gooners we just so happen to have in these streets. I was scrolling down Twitter and I came across this video.
Whoa! Yo! Oh, they doing a delivery, so now as they ringing the bell, it's like It's showing what they was on when they was on the phone, like they on the sites. Oh my god, it's crazy. What? Delivery guy, dog. What? And what's crazy is that he's at work. He's on the job, whipping that shit up like, you know what I'm saying? Like he on his own time, kicking his feet up in his own room, in his own, you know what I'm saying, basement or whatever the case. The hell?
Let me break down, because I'm going to have my guy just blur out this phone screen part, right? Because I just can't risk it, bro. I just got a warning on a video. So the dude came up to knock on the Amazon joint and had his phone, like, let me change my background.
Some corn site. Some pornography site type shit.
All my business, right? So boom, he comes knock at the door, and he's got corn playing. He come knock at the door on the recamera. He got corn playing on the job.
On the job.
Damn, and your Amazon fit. You couldn't even wait until you got back home. You couldn't wait until you got in the truck. You couldn't.
I can say, bro, I'm thinking, bro. Like, I'm thinking, dog, like, you know what I'm saying? The penis print. You know what I mean? Because it means you're getting hard, right? And when you're getting hard, people can see that, like, your pants is pulling forward. You feel what I'm saying? What? How do you live that way?
Your bed in a comfortable position. He wasn't just like, it was on the hub. Like, he was on the side, bro. Jesus Christ.
Tell me I did not just see that.
Nah, that's an amateur gooner, bro. That's amateur gooning right here.
All right, man. You gonna make it off my editor, man.
Wait, sir, you couldn't wait until you were off the clock to touch your cock? How you gooning? At work, you doing
this
delivery.
is good. Nah, this is crazy.
But you over here, what? And
Hell no.
Stinking bastard. You shouldn't be gooning or consuming this kind of content regardless, because it does damage to your brain. But you mean to tell me you couldn't do this within the confines of your house?
You can't even do it at the crib. You had to watch this out and just walking around.
I ain't gonna lie. Buddy going crazy over here. This nigga that Ashel Dior is reacting to, like this nigga's video. This nigga look like a caveman. Yo.
Around.
Nigga got that look where it's like with the long nose goes down.
Around, bro. Walking around.
Behind closed doors, you didn't recognize there was a ring camera on this apartment door? You mean to tell me you had to watch this while you on the clock to watch somebody bounce on some cock? You couldn't wait till you get home? How horny are you?
I guess he might be the horniest man in America, huh?
Mind you, this man was on the website. It's not as if it was a mistake.
No.
Social media.
No.
As if you were scrolling through X, Twitter.
Right. Exactly.
They like the Pornhub logo there too. Cause I think I'm seeing some like yellow and white there. It's crazy.
Not Instagram or Facebook, where for whatever reason these videos are getting uploaded and not taken down. But whatever the case may be, man's made the conscious decision to go to the hub, seek out some of his favorite videos, and then proceed to watch it when he on the clock. Do you recognize now you gotta damn near Lysol spray your packages when they arrive to your crib? Somebody might have their
God, that's so true. Now you gotta sanitize every package that pulls up. Even worse, the food delivery guys. Oh,
human
no.
fluids upon your package. Hell no.
Nasty
probably be
ass.
behind the wheel like,
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Coincidentally enough,
This nigga's putting these things on the camera.
that's not even worse than this security guard here, behind glass mirrors and windows, scrolling on the company computer.
No, man. Come on, man. Damn.
On the company
The
computer?
work shit is insane, y'all.
Kinds of websites. Man's probably on page 58 of 10,063, and he's seen.
And they recorded him. They need to start him. They need to hit this nigga with, hey, what you doing?
To continually go until he can bookmark the video he wants to watch tonight. Do you know how freaked out you got to be to do this at work? Let alone be so locked in to where you're.
Damn, man, it's a chop, bro. Oh,
locked. Locked. You
gotta be locked in.
That nigga ain't hit a single.
Yeah, locked in.
He ain't hit a single one of them.
Yeah, man, it's too locked
just
in,
straight
bro.
looking.
Recording you. Let
Straight
alone
watch
care.
it, boy.
Now, if you're doing security, I'm 100% sure they
Straight
have
studying
surveillance
that.
cameras up above. Maybe they have one hovering over the very computer you scrolling on without incognito mode, might I add. This dude is incredibly horny. Yeah. Stuff like this is outrageous because you're just out here doing this in the public in your work uniform. And that begs the question, just how many people are like this in the wild that captured on.
My dog told me about a situation where he was he was like in a garage or something. He was waiting, his mans was pulling up on him. And the nigga actually, damn, I got my own pot. Oh my gosh. Yeah, now niggas is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. But he was basically like shining the light, you know, to see. He was using his phone screen as a flashlight. So he was just shining the screen to walk in the garage to see his mans. And the nigga had corn on there. He was shining the screen like, yo, what's up, y'all? Where y'all at? He was shining corn on there. I know about another nigga who pulled up before he was about to meet his people. He was about to kick it with his dog, right? But he was about to go hang with a girl. He knew he was gonna hit the girl. So he claimed what he was doing was he was trying to release, you know, jerk his junk before, so that way he would last longer.
Oh my god.
Thing is, he did this right before he was about to pull up in chief with the gang.
What? Why would you?
He said, my dog said he walked outside because he saw bro. He had his location. He saw he was outside. He was like, "Where's this nigga at?" He said, "He out here. Let me go out here and, you know, walk the dogs and, you know, just go get him." To say he here. So they walked out there to get him.
Man was busy.
And he walked over to his car.
Oh shit! There was a whole situation in there.
He walked up into his car and he looked in the window.
Oh shit! Johnny up on attention, bro. Strong as fuck.
He looked in the window.
Damn.
And my dog saw him, and the nigga looked up like this, and my dog looked at him and just stick his head and walked like.
The nigga shook his head.
Oh my god, I was so sick. He told me that I was crying on the ground.
On social media, because the older that I've gotten, I've become more of a people person. So I like to engage in dialogue with strangers. I'll just be walking down the street, I'll talk to somebody random and just find out, what's your story? What you got going on in life? Only to find out that probably 1 of every 7 people that I talk to is probably a super gooner like this. What's the percentage of people
that
who
is super
consume
gooner, man. That's
adult
crazy.
entertainment
This shit
and
was
these
crazy.
kinds of forms of media, bruh? And you mean to tell me these motherfuckers who probably go unreported because you can only be able to identify the data based off those who come forward. You probably got a ton of people who never would want to be surveyed on this type of thing, so you really don't know how large the number just so happened to be. You could shake a random man's hand and he probably just got done beating off in a bush.
Type shit, though.
Hands off me.
Those of y'all who follow me on Instagram, I just saw a dude on the back of the plane beating off, trying to join the Mile High Club by himself. What part of the game is this? You mean to tell me you couldn't even go to the privacy of the bathroom, let alone wait to land? You had to do this on the flight. Homie holding his phone, going to work.
Oh my gosh.
If there's nobody else who's also flying with them, something is psychologically wrong with these people. You just
Psycho,
doing this gooning
bro.
activity in public? Have you no shame? Who are your parents? You filthy motherfucker. This has to result in the no-fly list. There's no scenario where you should be allowed to board a flight again. Wherever you landed, I hope it was thousands of miles away from your home. So you got to drive or actually walk back to your destination, or I should say where you departed from. That should be a form of punishment. And take their shoes too. You walking barefoot in the heat of the summer, fam. This is ridiculous. Remember that dude back in January who ended up taking himself out because he couldn't stop himself from going to a damn establishment without his pants on? They were calling his death.
Yeah, he deleted himself, that nigga.
By way of goon-aside. Homie was in a damn Dodge Challenger, Charger, whatever the case just so happened to be. And the lasting memory you leave on this earth,
man,
is being the face.
The face of masturbation. The face of it.
The poster boy for that shit. The poster child.
That's the guy. Oh my gosh, that's the guy.
That's the guy that was doing, yeah.
That's how you left. You didn't even like try and clear things up or try to create a different legacy. You know.
They didn't even go online, you know what I'm saying, to like a clarification video or some shit. Now I think he saw that it was true, and just like he just a perception of standing on what he just did. It was just unfathomable, right? The perception of he did perceive himself doing it, but now the consequence of shit going the other direction, the consequence of shit going all the way left, is what homie didn't kind of perceive. You know what I'm saying? He didn't think things all the way through to that extent type shit.
You know, something. Leave something for something. That's how we all remember you.
That's a
crazy last. Gooning, fam. This is your legacy. You was married, I believe, with children. And this is what you decided to do? Your last goon is what you go by now.
This would piss me off if I'm looking, shit, I don't know where he looking from. Shit, I mean, he still had to be a good guy, man. Well, actually, hold on. Let's remind ourselves what he did. That was some crazy work.
That's crazy.
Wherever he's seeing these people from, I'd be mad as fuck. They taking my shit like my death is a fucking joke. Nobody here is sad. This is funny to people.
Nah, but I ain't gonna lie. That shit was fucked up. Like, what the fuck was that? What?
This is what
he made himself go out as a joke. He made himself a joke, bro. Come on, Astro. Come on, bro. That was that was stupid. That was borderline retarded. Hello, be thy dick? Is that what I just heard? Thy will be jizz? The Goonaside.
A bunch of fucking little twerps laughing about me.
I say his name, you say Nautica. Say his name, Nautica.
Let me move forward.
Village is retarded.
Hi, how are you?
This was stupid as
Good.
fuck.
Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave.
What the hell?
Unacceptable.
And he almost ham sandwiched the back of the other whip.
This man made the conscious decision to drive to this establishment with no pants. Then when he peeped, he was on video, drove home, didn't survive 24 hours after the video went viral, wrote his wife a note, said, I can't face you and the babies, I'm gonna take myself out, and proceeded to family. Legitimately, I don't think anything is gonna top that in the year of 2025, but that happened back in January. We still have, for all intents and purposes, 7 months remaining in the year. Somebody may mess around and do something ridiculous, and especially with what Bonnie Blue continues to do in the streets of the United Kingdom, it's only a matter of time before somebody starts to take things a bit further. In fact, somebody sent me a video of back when she was running that 1,000-man or the multi-100-man train that she had going on over there. Apparently, there was a Jamaican boy who was queued up that somehow his mother found out that he was part of the rotation and came to come and get him. I was unaware of this back then. Somebody sent me this week. Bro, are you kidding me? A mother had to see her son.
Had to save this nigga.
Part of the line of pretty much cocks in the cock carousel to this succubus cum dumpster of a harlot. Bro, what is going on in the world, fam? This is getting ridiculous. All of these motherfucking gooners need to be dealt with. Bring them to Jesus. Or maybe send them to the executioner. Chris!
My dog is a real WWE fan, and the rest of the clip was a WWE shit. Shout out to Adonis, man. That was hilarious. Those clips was crazy, bro. Nah, he's right. This is a little fun time.
So, a tourist walks out of an airport restroom and bam, her wallet's gone. She looks around. 3 women are nearby. One's holding her passport and boarding pass. The second is in a full-length coat and gloves. The third has a tiny dog. So, who's the sneaky pickpocket?
Pickpocket? The one in the middle, because they got a lot of shit. Because they pickpocket the shit, they can put it in, like, you know what I'm saying, in one of the layered things that they got going on. They're wearing some shit. And why is there why is there a dark spot on this one's head? What the fuck is this? Nah, she's the one. Nah, she's the one. I don't know. Okay, I don't know how to like justify that dark spot on the head. But goddamn. I think she's the one.
Look closely. The first woman has a red lipstick mark on her elbow. Weird, right? That only happens when you reach deep into someone's bag and rub up against their makeup. Yep, she's the one who grabbed the wallet. Leo finds himself trapped at the bottom of a strange pit. Suddenly, a mechanical voice echoes, "To escape, press the correct buttons ahead of you." He looks up. There's a wall covered in buttons, each with an animal on it. His only clue is a glowing sign that says, Go.
Okay.
So, which button should he press?
What? Go. Which button should he press? Oh, wow, fuck, no. The snake. You should choose the snake.
The answer is right there in the clue. G for gorilla, O for owl. So Leo must press those 2 animals and he's free.
That one was low-key tough. It was low-key tough.
Sophia was hired to do hair and makeup for a very important guest. But there's a catch. She is not allowed to know who it is just yet. Okay. Then the client hands her a strange note and says, "This is your clue. Can you figure out who the important guest is?"
Lady. Is that on the song? I don't know who sings Lady. It's probably the artist. Lady 3 times? Wait. Justin Bieber.
The arrow points to the first word, lady, on the list. Whoa, her client is none other than the First Lady herself. Hey, no pressure, Sophia.
Oh my god.
We are on.
What? No ways, dog. There's no way you fuck. What? And these riddles are probably cooked up by AI, bro. There's no way a human being can get those. Come on,
trial
bro.
for
I'm talking about a normal human. I'm not talking about a genius. There's a difference.
theft with 2 defendants. The jury
Geniuses are not normal.
finds one guilty and the other not guilty. The judge turns to the guilty one and says, "It's clear that you are the thief, but I must let you go." So, what happened?
Because the other one is the judge's kid. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna incriminate the kid even though the kid was wrong. What the fuck? That's what I think.
Here's the twist. They are conjoined twins. The guilty one can't go to prison without dragging the innocent one along. And you can't lock up someone who didn't do anything. So they both must walk free. A psychologist ends up on a remote island. The locals trap her and present 2 doors. One leads to a huge feast with the tribe, and the other goes straight into a volcano. Suddenly, 2 dogs rush in. One barks like crazy at door number 1. The other sniffs around door number 2, then backs away. So, which door should she pick?
Door number 1. Door number 1.
She must pick door number 1.
Yes.
That dog barking probably smells food and people, but the other one likely caught some toxic gases coming from the volcano.
Exactly.
A priceless book disappears from a library. It was on the top shelf, way too high to reach without a ladder. But the only ladder nearby was broken. 3 staff members had access to the rare books room. The librarian, the janitor, way too high to reach without a ladder. Some toxic gases coming from the volcano. A priceless book disappears from a library. It was on the top shelf, way too high to reach without a ladder. But the only ladder nearby was broken. 3 staff members had access to the rare books room. The librarian, the janitor, and the new intern. All of them swear they didn't touch the book. So, who's the thief?
I don't know. I don't even know.
Look closer at the janitor. He didn't need a ladder. He has a long mop handle. All he had to do was hook the book and pull. Smooth move, but not smooth enough. Julia walks into an old, abandoned mansion. It's dusty, quiet, and honestly kind of creepy. She heads to the bathroom and freezes. There's a message written on the mirror in red lipstick. It says, "Go explore the opportunities unseen today." Strange, but also cheerful. But for some reason, Julia bolts out of the house immediately. Why?
To go and explore the unseen opportunities today. She wants to go and explore those. Like real quick, real fast.
Look again. This isn't a pep talk. Read the first letter
Oh, get out. Damn.
of each line. They spell get out. And she did. Nadine invites her friends over for dinner, but she wants to make it fun. So she sets out a stack of colorful plates and says, "Whoever picks a plate with a primary color gets dessert." Everyone rushes for red, blue, and yellow plates. Except for Jack, who picks a purple one. And he seems really excited about it. But why? Did he notice something that no one else did?
His shirt is blue. That's primary
Jack is just on a diet, so he picked purple on purpose. It's not a primary color, which means no dessert for him. A smart way to avoid temptation. James is looking at a family photo. Dad, mom, 2 kids, and their dog. They're all smiling at the camera. But wait, something doesn't add up.
Why?
One tiny detail proves this photo is a fake. Can you find it?
Because dad does not have a shadow. So dad is the fake. Every other family member has a shadow. Dad, no.
Check the shadows. Everyone's shadow falls to the left, except for the dad. That means he was never really there. Someone must have photoshopped him in. Emma gets a friendship bracelet from her best friend Zoe. But the beads spell something odd. A, B, C, D, F? Emma stares at it, confused. Zoe just smiles and says, "It's a hidden message." So, what is she trying to say?
What is she trying to say? This is a friendship bracelet? Definitely friends. So the D and the F means definitely friends. ABC. Oh shit. I think the D and the F's, you know what I'm saying, stands for definitely friends. ABC, I'm not too sure.
Zoe left out the letter E on purpose. E stands for enemy, and in their friendship, there's no room for that.
Oh my
God.
Who was supposed
Millie
to
and
figure that
Theo
out?
had been totally in love for a year. To celebrate their anniversary, Theo gave her 4 gifts: a teddy bear, a bouquet of yellow roses, a pair of shoes, and a box of chocolates.
Okay.
Sweet, right?
Sweet.
But the moment Millie saw them, she knew she had to break up with him immediately.
Oh shit.
Why?
Because that teddy bear has a camera to a chick. See the eye? Look at the eye of the teddy bear. It's not a real eye. One of these eyes is a hidden camera. So this nigga probably trying to spy. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. Nigga trying to spy and shit like that. Highly certified gooner.
Take a closer look at that teddy bear,
Yeah.
especially the eyes. There's a tiny hidden camera inside.
I told
That's when Millie realized he was trying to spy on her.
Run, Millie.
Lila's grandpa asked her to help with the groceries, but he also loves giving her little challenges. So he handed her a note and said, "This is what I need from the supermarket." But when Lila looked at it, the letters were all scrambled. Looks like it's a puzzle. Can you help her figure out the word?
Is it one word? Schnitzel. No, my bad. Chips. Nope. CHIP. Huh? Ashpin. I don't know. It would take too much time for me to figure it out.
If you put the letters in the correct order,
Spinach.
the hidden word is spinach. Hey, nice job. Noah is a Spanish teacher. At the end of class, he asks, "Next week, we're going to watch a movie." The whole class cheers. Someone asks, "Which movie? Can you give us a hint?" Noah smiles and says, "It stars Leonardo DiCaprio." Suddenly, the class starts groaning. Why?
Because Leonardo DiCaprio is on the wall over there. That's why. On the
Well,
picture on
think
the wall.
about it. It's a Spanish class. If they're supposed to be practicing
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio speaks English, not Spanish.
listening and pronunciation, why would he pick a movie in English? A museum alarm blares. A diamond is missing. The doors are locked, so the thief is still inside. 3 women stand before the inspector. He tells them, "Take off one shoe." One has a furry boot, another a shiny rhinestone flat. The last one's in a
shit.
beat-up green sneaker. Who took the gem?
Obviously, the one with the pump blue thing with the diamond, because she might want to, you know what I'm saying, use the diamond to decorate her shoe over here. So it's this one with the blue shoe, nigga. Duh. The diamond is on there. That shiny diamond is on there, you can even see it.
Check the shiny shoe.
Yeah.
That rhinestone flat is suspiciously bright, but one stone glows yellowish, like a real diamond. The others reflect plain white light. Ooh, busted. She stuck the diamond onto her shoe. Aurora is trying to open a mysterious vault in her grandfather's old house. On the wall, she finds a strange number grid. One number is missing. Can you help her solve it?
One, 4.
Here's the trick. Look at the rows carefully. The last number minus the middle one gives you the first.
The last number minus the first. 5.
6 minus 3 equals 3. 3 minus 1 equals 2. So, 10 minus 5 equals 5. That's it. The missing number is 5. Liam posts a group photo from his birthday dinner on social media. But minutes later, his girlfriend texts him, "We need to talk. I know what you did."
Whoa.
Can you guess what set her off?
Happy birthday. Celebrating my birthday with my friend. Happy birthday. Fuck, man, I don't know. He was cheating. He was cheating.
Let's see. You can spot both arms of everyone at the table, except for Liam and the girl sitting right next to him. Looks like they're secretly holding hands under the table, and that photo just gave them away. 3 ants are walking in a line. The first one says, "There is a path ahead and an ant behind me." The second says, "There is 1 ant in front and 1 behind." The third goes, "There is 1 in front and 1 behind me, too." How is that true?
Because it's a loop video. They're walking in a loop. They're walking in a cycle,
Well,
circle.
it's not. The only thing that's true here is that that third ant is lying. A lying ant. Who would have thought? That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want...
Men lie, women lie, ants lie too, bitch. I'm kidding. But do animals lie to one another? And start killing each other on some shit or whatever? Stop thinking. What the fuck?
Gayton McKenzie for his support of Dricus du Plessis in the match he recently lost. And this is because Gayton McKenzie made a tweet that was not well received, where he said, "Dricus du Plessis, you made us proud as one of the great champions, and we know that you will be back. You faced a tough wrestler."
Oh shit, no. I need my nigga just breathe. My nigga just breathe, bro. Need some financial knowledge. Let's kick it right quick. Just breathe. Just breathe. Oh, my nigga just breathe that. I need my nigga just breathe. Tell me what it does real quick. Let me do this. Okay. Oh yeah, minority mindset. Minority mindset. I gotta remember that name, bro. So it's easier to search and stuff. Your 401k will never be the same. No man. There's this other video that I saw. Go back to it real quick. Job market just broke. What do you mean by that?
We just got news that the job market wasn't too hot in July. That obviously wasn't good news, but then it got worse. The Bureau of Labor Statistics said that our job market in May. Most people are bleeding money every month and don't even know it.
What does
But
that mean?
do you want to know what's even crazier? Your bank isn't just letting it happen, they're profiting from it. Hidden fees, high interest traps, and outdated habits are quietly draining so many people's bank accounts even when you're sleeping. But that stops today, because in this video, I'm going to go over the 5 biggest ways your money is leaking, and then I'm going to show you how you can stop it so you can finally start building real wealth. First is paying more money than you have to. In the end of 2024, the United States government passed a new law trying to ban or restrict overdraft fees. The rule says that banks now have to cap overdraft fees at $5, or if they're going to charge you more than $5, that cost has to be justified, or if they're going to charge you even higher overdraft fees that they just have to make more disclosures about what their overdraft fees are and how they work. This sounds great, but there's a couple of things you need to know. Number one, this law doesn't actually take effect until October 2025. And number two is this might not actually change overdraft fees at all. At the time of me recording this video, the average overdraft fee is $27, and if banks give you more disclaimers, well, they can keep charging you the exact same overdraft fee. And if you really think that a couple extra disclaimers are gonna stop people from overdrafting on their accounts, well, your bank is going to love you. So here's what I want you to do. Number one, I want you to tell your bank to add a stop, that if you're trying to withdraw money or spend money you don't have, that it stops that transaction from happening. Many banks are gonna offer this service for free. Then number two, what I also want you to do is I want you to look at your mobile app. And this is gonna sound very simple, but I want you to look at your web banking and see how much money you have in your account. And if there is no money in your account, you should not spend any money. Don't spend money you don't have. Monitor your bank account, because every time you spend money you don't have, you pay the $20, $30, $40 in overdraft fees. Well, that's making somebody rich, and it's not you. Number two is you don't do the math. Let's assume that you have an extra $10,000 and you want to save this money, and you look around and you see that the average savings account is paying around 0.5%, and you say that's not good enough. I want my money to grow because I want to build some wealth. And then you do some research and now you find a high yield savings account that's paying 3.5% a year. Now clearly 3.5% a year is more than 0.5%, but the reason why you're so excited about this is because you do some basic math and you say, hey, I know that inflation right now is 2.7%, and 3.5% is clearly more than the 2.7% inflation, which means the savings is actually making me wealthier because my savings are growing faster than inflation, which is a good first step. But I want you to now take this one step further and understand the full situation, because this high yield savings account is paying you interest. And when you get paid interest, you also have to pay taxes. And so now let's assume that you have a 25% tax rate. If you're paying a 25% tax rate on this 3.5% interest on this $10,000, that means effectively, after paying your taxes, the real growth on your money is 2.6% after taxes. Now, the growth of your money, this 2.6%, is smaller than inflation, which means, oh, your money didn't actually grow faster than inflation. It didn't even keep up with inflation. Your money lost value to inflation, which means you slowly became poorer. But that's not even the worst part. This 2.7% inflation number is an average. It might not be the real inflation that you're feeling. Over the last 12 months, we've seen food inflation at around 3%. We've seen auto insurance prices grow by around 6.5%. We've seen energy prices grow by around 7%, and we've seen coffee prices grow by around 12%. So yes, 2.7% might be the average inflation number, but
I ain't gonna lie, shout out my boy JustPREETZ right here with the financial knowledge. But there's a specific video that I wanted to get into and just close this live stream with that. How about that, huh? A little bit of, you know what I'm saying? Just some don'ts, you know what I'm saying? Financial mistakes that people make that I believe a whole lot of people can learn from. You know what I'm saying? An exclusive from my boy JustPREETZ, Minority Mindset. Damn, this nigga's already on 2.5 million subscribers. That's crazy. My boy Minority Mindset right here. Let's go.
like financing your extra guac on your Visa. Some of these decisions are not going to be obvious, and I'm going to talk about 5 of them in this video, starting with number 1, not having a priority for your money. Babies have to crawl before they can walk, before they can run. When it comes to money, a lot of people are running before they even learn to crawl. In the financial world, if you have credit card debt or payday loans or high interest types of debt, you are in the crawl phase. And when you have this type of high interest debt, you should not be worried about trying to invest your money in the stock market. You should not be worried about trying to save a whole bunch of extra money. Your sole focus needs to be paying down this credit card debt. So, if you have high interest debts and you're worried about investing in stocks, your priorities are in the wrong place, the first thing you gotta do is pay down this credit card debt, because your credit card debt is gonna cost you 15, 20, 25, sometimes 28% a year in interest. When you invest your money in the stock market, well, the average stock market return is 10% a year. 10% is smaller than 20%, so pay off your credit card debt first and don't worry about doing all the other stuff. Crawl before you can walk. When it comes time for you to
that credit card debt shit is a real fucking burden. Fuck.
put aside in a separate bank account just
if you really break shit down, bro, you could, yeah, damn, you could be avoiding a whole lot of problems, like just following this step right here. Whoa.
Protect you against emergencies. There's not $2,000 for a car, $2,000 for a watch, or $2,000 for a security deposit. This is an extra $2,000 in case you lose your job, in case your kid breaks a leg, or in case your AC goes out. You have an extra $2,000 put aside just in case. If you don't have this $2,000 put aside, you should not be worried about investing in stocks. You should not be worried about trying to flip real estate or investing in real estate with zero money down. What you need to be focused on is saving this $2,000 as fast as possible. Work to save some more money by living smaller. Work to earn some extra money by working extra hours, but you gotta get this $2,000. And then when it comes time for you to run financially, this is now where you're actually acquiring assets. You're investing your money. And if you don't have any assets, listen, you don't gotta worry about asset protection. You don't gotta worry about building these tax strategies. You don't gotta worry about doing all this legacy stuff because you have no assets to protect yet. It's one of the funniest things when someone's got $44 in their bank account and they're talking about tax strategies and how they can pass down.
Hey, man, you gotta start somewhere, bro. You gotta start somewhere. Start with the little that you got.
Their wealth. You don't have any assets to pass down yet.
Okay, yeah, with the asset shit, obviously, it makes sense. I was just trolling right now.
So get the assets, then worry about the asset protection. Number 2 is thinking your credit score is what makes you rich. There's an entire industry of people,
fuck, you see this one? I need to hear this.
Especially on the internet, that love to sell you this idea of how having an 800 credit score is going to open up the opportunity for you to build all this wealth. And unfortunately, this industry is selling primarily to poor people. People who don't have money, people that are struggling, and people that don't have a good credit score.
What the fuck? So the whole credit industry, like the whole credit game, and you know what I'm saying, people that play that whole thing, it's people that are living off of a lack. But then, you know what I'm saying, like, my question is then, like, these people that like encourage others to build credit score for the sake of purchasing assets that are gonna make them money, and then those assets are gonna pay off that credit that I used to get that asset, right? Because there's a strategy like that. I mean, how, like, doesn't that count for something?
Score. Here's the reality. Your credit score really does not matter. All it is an indication of how good you are in paying your bills, and it doesn't even do the best job at that. Your credit score is not an indication of how wealthy you are. Your credit score is not an indication of how many assets you own. Your credit score is not an indication of how much money you have in the bank. Your credit score is not an indication of what degree you have. Your credit score is not an indication of how good.
Because really, for a while, bro, I've been thinking, especially in my adult phase of life, I'm thinking, yo, we gotta focus on credit score, credit this, then they're literally like, this is a revelation.
What your job is, all your credit score tells you is how good you've been at paying off your bills. And again, it hasn't done the best job at even explaining that. That being said, can a better credit score help you? Potentially, but here's the part that so many people are doing wrong. Remember, this credit score helps people buy more debt. And if you're using this debt to buy liabilities, this doesn't do you any good. You got an 800 credit score, but all you're doing is working your job so you can pay off your car, so you can pay off your watch, so you can pay off your house, so you can pay off your fancy vacations. That 800 credit score shows you, hey, you're making your payments, but yeah, you're broke. This is where, yes, a better credit score can help you get a cheaper mortgage, but that's really it. If you want to go out and buy a car, buy it cash. Your car is a depreciating liability. It's gonna lose value as soon as you put the key.
I'm guessing buying assets. Credit, right?
Keys in the ignition. Your car is going to need maintenance. Your car has a limited time span. So why pay interest on something that's losing you money? Buy a car with cash. Maybe you can't buy as nice of a car, but buy it with cash. You should not be using your credit score to finance your vacation to Cancun, and you should not be using your credit score to pay for your wardrobe. So, can your credit score help you when it comes to buying a house? Sure. But you don't need a good credit score in order to actually build wealth. Number 3 is living fake rich. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. And Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, famously said that the majority of people are working to buy liabilities, that they think are assets. And so what does that mean? The majority of people are trying to look rich. We want to have the big house, we want to have the nice car, because when you get the nice job, you want to show it off. Because you got a nice job, you got to have the BMW, you got to have the nice apartment, you got to have the nice penthouse, you got to have the nice big house with 4 bedrooms and 2 baths because you've earned it. But here's the reality. What you're doing many times is you're making everybody else rich except yourself. As soon as you make money, your money is going here. While what wealthy people want to do is they want to own the assets that are putting money in their pocket.
There we go.
Your BMW is not putting money in your pocket. You're putting money in BMW's pocket, and you're putting money in your bank's pocket. Your house, for many people, is not putting money in your pocket. You're putting money into your mortgage company's pocket. You're putting money into your insurance company's pocket. You're putting money into your property taxes pocket. You're putting money into the maintenance pocket. You're putting money into the utilities pocket. Month after month after month after month, and then you have to hope that your home is going to go up in value, and what we know is that houses don't always go up in value. I got my real estate salesperson's license almost a decade and a half ago now, and one of the things that you learn when you are a real estate salesperson is you want to learn how to sell a house. But what you're not selling is a house, you're selling a home. And more specifically, you're selling the biggest investment that most people will ever make. And when I can tell you that your home is one of the biggest and best investments you're ever gonna make, it's gonna be a little bit easier for you to buy a little bit bigger and a little bit nicer, because you're buying an investment for your family. You're buying an investment to build that generational wealth, to finally own the house. And your mortgage banker is gonna tell you the exact same thing. This is an investment. Your house is gonna go up in value, it's gonna help you get rich, and it's going to help you have an asset that you can pay off and pass down to your kids. But the problem with that is, well, number one, if your house does go up in value, now your property taxes and insurance went up, so you have to make more money to make those payments. And if you don't have the salary to support the higher payments, well, you're stuck. As soon as you sign the paperwork, your mortgage banker and realtor are gone. They don't care if you make the payments or not. They just want to get their commission check, because once you sign the paperwork, they get paid. And not to mention, well, you have to pay for everything in the house for every month that you live in there, and then you have to hope that your home goes up in value. Now listen to me very carefully. I'm not against you buying a house. In fact, I think it's a very good thing for you to buy a house when you can afford it, but the key is to buy a house that you can afford. And that's why the rule that I like to follow is a very simple 75, 15, 10. Which says for every dollar that you earn from here on out, 75 cents is the maximum that you can spend. This is all the money that you can spend on your mortgage, on your groceries, on your vacations, on your clothing. And
so for $1, spend 75 cents. 15 cents is for investing. 10 cents save. See, at this point, we're talking principle. Keep that as a rule, as a principle in your head, and do that with any amount. Grow with that kind of mindset, and I feel like you have a snowball effect to like expanding your finances. Facts.
And everything in between. 15 cents is the minimum that you're investing of every dollar that you earn, and 10 cents is the minimum that you're saving of every dollar that you earn. That means you can only spend 3/4 of every dollar that you earn, and the other quarter you're investing into yourself by making yourself wealthy and by saving that money. This way now you can work to actually build wealth for yourself. And if you can afford your house in this, then be my guest and buy the house that you can afford, because now you still have the money to invest. The mistake that so many people make is that people buy a big house thinking that this house is their investment. My investment is my mortgage payment. When in reality, that mortgage payment is just making your banker richer. Because what happens when you get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage is for the first 15-ish years out of 30, more than half of your mortgage payment is going to be interest. So if your mortgage is $3,000 a month and you start the mortgage payment today, it's not half of your payment going to principal and half going to interest. If you look at an amortization calculator, what you'll see is that almost all of that $3,000 is going in interest on month 1 and month 2 and month 3. And it isn't until year 15 where half of your mortgage payment is going towards your principal balance and half is going to interest. And so these loans are front loaded, and if you refinance your mortgage, well, you start that process all over again. That's why I want you to understand how this works, and don't treat the house as an investment. Buy actual investments, rental properties, stocks, businesses as your investments. That way you can actually work to become wealthy, because a lot of people want to look rich. You're taking your money and you're buying that lifestyle. You got the nice car, you got the nice clothes, you got the nice house, but you have no actual wealth. I want you to actually become wealthy, that way you can have the freedom for yourself. Now, if you're an investor or want to become an investor, again, my team at Briefs Media publishes a free daily report called Market Briefs, where we break down, join in the bank, and now you want to be protectionary of it. You want to protect that money at all costs. So you don't want to get rid of that money, you don't want to spend it. But sometimes you not spending money can be more expensive than you actually spending that money, because when you don't want to spend that money, you don't want to pay somebody else when you can have your own time. I see this so much in real estate. If you were to go out and invest in a rental property, you could be the one that manages the property. Because now when the tenant has an issue, yeah, you could take the phone call and deal with the issue. You can be the one to make sure the bills get paid. You can be the one to make sure the property taxes get paid. But I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to manage my properties. I want to be an investor. And this is where I pay to have a property manager. Now this property manager is going to have a fee. They're going to take a percentage of your rents every single month. And a lot of real estate investors will say, why the heck would I pay a property manager 8% of my rents, 10% of my rents, 12% of my rents? That's money that I can keep in my pocket. It's just a little bit of time every single month. I can just deal with it myself. But now you're not valuing your time, and then you're never going to be able to scale, because if you have a few more properties, well, you are spending all of your time managing, and you're not going to want to scale to the next deal, because you're going to be fed up with dealing with tenants and dealing with the headache and dealing with the problems. Managing is very different than owning. I want you to be an owner, that way you can work to build that wealth. Maybe that's with mowing your lawn. You don't want to pay somebody to get that hour back every single week. Maybe it's for cleaning. Maybe it's for driving you around. Maybe it's for helping to cook food. That way you can save some of your time. Maybe it's you investing that money into your own mind, because you say, you know what, I worked so hard to save up these few $1,000s, this $5,000, this $10,000. I don't want to invest this money into a book or a class or some research reports or to whatever, because if I spend $500, that's $500 that leave my bank account. But if you can invest in your mind, you spending $500 could help you earn $5,000, maybe $5,000 a month, depending on what you're learning. But you have to be willing to invest in your own mind, that way you can learn how you can grow your mindset, because a lot of people have this scarcity mindset.
I feel like a whole lot of people have the mistake of thinking that investment only involves money and financials. You feel what I'm saying? You can invest in your own self by, you know what I mean? Just like the attention that you put on yourself, the opportunities that you allow yourself to have, the opportunities you create for yourself. You feel what I'm saying? The energy that you allow yourself to like engage with. You understand what I'm saying? The people that you allow yourself to talk with, socialize with. You feel what I'm saying? Relationships that you establish, bro. All of that falls into like the way that you invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? That all speaks to like the quality of the investment that you've placed in yourself. You feel what I'm saying? It's not all about just like financials and money. And you feel me?
Because what happens if markets crash? What happens if I pick a bad investment? And that's obviously a concern. Investing is risky. You're never guaranteed to make money when you invest. You will lose money at some point, which is why you need to make sure you always do your own due diligence and never blindly trust a random guy on YouTube. But here's the thing. When you save your money in the bank, you're guaranteed to lose. Because if you're earning 0.5% a year, even 3% a year.
So you gotta choose the lesser evil.
Because if you're earning 3%, but here's the thing. When you save your money in the bank, you're guaranteed to lose. Because if you're earning 0.5% a year, even 3% a year, you're still losing money. Because if you're earning 3% a year in a high yield savings account, the first thing is you got to pay taxes on that money. So you're really not netting 3% a year. And now you have to factor in inflation. And you might say, well, even after taxes, Jaspreet, I'm earning more than 2% a year on my savings, so I'm beating inflation. But remember, the 2-ish% inflation numbers that we're seeing is the reported inflation numbers. That doesn't mean it's the real inflation that many people are feeling, because the real inflation that a lot of people are feeling are higher than the actual reported numbers. Which is why when you save your money, even in a high-yield savings account, you're guaranteed to lose. Now when you invest your money, you can lose. You can lose every dollar that you invest. But you have the potential to gain money as well. And if you just invest your money into something simple, like say the total stock market or the S&P 500, which is a group of the 500 largest companies in the stock market, and yes, there are funds that allow you to do this, so you don't have to go out and invest in every single company. I'll show you exactly what I mean. There are funds like VTI that give you exposure to the total stock market, and SPY, they give you exposure to the S&P 500. Now, I'm not recommending that you go out and buy these. I can't do that because I'm just a random guy on YouTube. But what I'm saying is, If you just wanted to invest your money in the stock market for the long term, this has been proven to win over the long term. Now, this doesn't guarantee that you're always going to make money. In fact, we've seen a lot of recessions in the past. We've seen a lot of market crashes in the past. We're going to continue to see market crashes. We're going to continue to see recessions. But history tells us that in the long term, markets go up. Now, could that be wrong in the future? Sure, yeah, maybe. But that's what history has told us. But you'll never have the opportunity to see the potential upside if you never invest your money. And then the fifth dumb thing that you can do is invest like you're in Las Vegas. Investing your money, like I just talked about, is a slow but almost guaranteed way to build wealth over the long term. Not over 6 months, not over 5 years, but over 10, 20, 30, 40 years. It has been proven, and it's a pretty sure way, not 100%, but a pretty sure way to build wealth. But a lot of people look at that and say, well, Jaspreet, I don't want to wait 30, 40 years to build my wealth. I wonder if there's something sooner. And if you're getting started and you don't have a lot of investing experience, you're going to start Googling different ways that you can start investing money, how to grow your money faster. And now you're going to start learning about these other opportunities that can double your money in 6 months and get you these 1,000% returns. Maybe you start investing in pink sheets, meaning penny stocks. Maybe you start day trading. Maybe you start looking into options. Maybe you start trading meme stocks. Maybe you start trading these hot cryptocurrencies that have the potential to pop off. It's these super speculative investments, which, yeah, they can have a small piece in a regular person's portfolio, but what I've seen happen for a lot of smaller, younger, getting started investors is their entire portfolio is 100% speculative because we don't like the idea of waiting 30 or 40 years to see wealth happen. So instead, let me just try to YOLO my money into these dumb investments and hope for the best. And now what ends up happening is you hope you're gonna get rich quick. You end up losing all of your money and you never build wealth. So you gotta decide. Do you want to have the rush and excitement and never build wealth? Or do you want to have the long-term sustainable wealth, not have the rush and the excitement, but actually have the potential to build real wealth with much less risk? And a lot of people take the first option, they get burned, they hate investments, and then they say, I never want to invest my money again. But this is weird. If you really want to build wealth, you can take the fast and exciting route and test it out, and when you get burned, remember that the other route, the way that you actually become wealthy by long-term investing, is there, but you have to be willing to stick with it and go through the ups and downs and keep learning. That way you can work to grow your returns and get potentially a little bit better returns, but being smart with your investments is how you get there. Again, if you want some additional resources, you can check out Market Briefs. I have that link for you down in the description. President Trump signed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act into law. This big bill will bring some big changes to
Fat lady sings, I see the writing on the walls. I mean, back to the sin, cause it was pride before the fall. And now the demons grin, there's no temptation too tall, so it's forever. Yeah, imagination that shifted realities, till paradigms shift into shades you ain't never seen. Was once excited for all this, now I ain't trying to be seen. Forever. Cause this mind is straight chatter, but I can barely say something. Feel like shit don't matter, so beware the fun cutting. It's volumes of demise, I hear the sound buzzing. So when she said she wanna die, and he sees she ain't bluffing, so he held her to the skies, cries, sour momentum. Passive with goodbyes, I'd rather you tell him. But now the truth is I've digressed from all the feelings, so it's forever though. But my mama's son missing, ain't no telling, do they love or did they kill him? The dominoes have fallen, we can't go back to beginning. This existential crisis, the reason I cannot keep competing and keep on living. So it's back against the world, seeing all your value once you dealt with all the dirt. Backing up slowly from these diamonds and pearls, quote unquote, Fat lady sings, I see the writing on the walls. I mean, back to the sin, cause it was pride before the fall. And now, it's just over. Yeah. Fat lady sings, I see the writing on the walls. I mean, back to the sin, cause it was pride before the fall. And now the demons grin, there's no temptation too tall, so it's forever. Yeah, imagination that shifted realities till paradigms shift into shades you ain't never seen. Was once excited for all this, now I ain't trying to be seen. Forever. Cause this mind is straight chatter, but I can barely say something. Feel like shit don't matter, so beware the fun cutting. It's volumes of demise, I hear the sound buzzing. So when she said she wanna die, and he sees she ain't bluffing, so he held her to the skies, cries, sour momentum. Passive with goodbyes, I'd rather you tell him. But now the truth is I've digressed from all the feelings, so it's forever though. Like my mama's son missing, ain't no telling, do they love or did they kill him? The dominoes have fallen, we can't go back to beginning. This existential crisis, the reason I cannot keep competing and keep on living. So it's back against the world, seeing all your value once you dealt with all the dirt. Backing up slowly from these diamonds and pearls, quote unquote. I mean,